All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Barnburner Podcast, or welcome. Maybe this is your first time. This is episode 4. I'm Owen, joined by my co-host Michael, as per usual, and we are live. Here we go.
I have a question.
Sure.
I thought we were gonna have some co-hosts.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing, but then I remembered that. Well, for starters, my buddy Joe, who was originally going to be on this week's episode, he is I don't know where he is. I think he's got a date tonight or something. So I don't think he was going to be around to do this. So unfortunately, we had to make a bit of a scheduling change. But I'll try to get him on for next week for sure. So yeah, he's a bit of a character.
Didn't you say he doesn't have a laptop either?
Yeah. So we're on Zoom again, and he doesn't have a laptop or a computer in his house, so he can't go on Zoom like we are, because he would join the Zoom call through his phone, and we record our audio with voice memos on like just the app, and so we would probably have to join like an Xbox party and talk to him through there, and then record our voices on voice memos, which I felt like was going to be a bit of a hassle. So I just thought, you know what, he can't do it this week. That's fine. Let's save it for next week or something.
Or why don't we get somebody else?
Yeah, that too. We could definitely get somebody else too. I mean, the other thing we could do is if we want to if we do want to do a guest appearance tomorrow, if we want, like we can record a 30-minute like interview segment with somebody, and then just because the episode comes out on Monday, so it is Thursday, by the way. I usually say what day it is. Today is Thursday, January 6th, for anybody wondering.
2022.
Yeah.
Is it our first episode?
First episode of the new year. Yes, it is. So new year, fresh start. But yeah, we'll figure it out. So first thing on the list is the Oilers, but I feel like that's going to be a long topic, so we can skip that for now.
We could talk just about the Leafs versus Oilers.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So I'll ask you for your thoughts first, because obviously the Leafs came away with the win.
I thought it was quick start. 5 minutes in,
Yep.
Smith kicks it in his own net.
Brutal.
The Oilers can't seem to get the first goal ever. They always give up the first one, and of course, like a little fluky one like that goes in.
And those are the worst goals too.
Yeah, usually like shit like that happens like to the Leafs. Like I was so used to like,
yeah,
of course this happens, but now it's not happening to my team.
It's happening to mine.
About. Yeah. But
yeah, the Oilers were.
I don't know. What can you do?
The Oilers were McDavid list for the first time this season. He was on COVID protocol. And, I mean, I was already hoping for an Oilers win, or loss, sorry. I'll get into that later on regarding Dave Tippett and just the Oilers situation right now. But when McDavid gets put on COVID protocol and you're down your best player, you kind of figure you're going to lose. But upon saying that, I actually figure... Yeah, they did. But upon saying that, I actually thought this was the Oilers' best performance in, like, their recent stint of games that they've lost. And I can't help but think that it's because when McDavid's not around and he's not getting 25, 30 minutes of ice time a game, it gives our third and fourth line guys a chance to actually play, and they're not as bad as they seem when they actually get ice time. So I don't know. It seems like easy math, but Dave Tippett's a bit of a moron, so I guess math isn't too easy for him. But I don't know. I mean, I thought the Oilers played all right. The game was tied going into the third, and I think, half the third period went away before Mikheyev scored, so... I don't know. I felt like the Oilers played pretty well.
Both goals for the Leafs, the first two, they were off skates.
Yeah, it was both
the Oilers.
Unlucky goal. Well, the Smith one was just terrible. Did Tavares still get credit for that goal, or was it Nylander?
No, it was Nylander.
Yeah, okay. Because I don't know. I mean, and then the third. So it was essentially a 3-2 game because I think Marner scored an empty netter or something like that.
I think it was Kerfoot.
Somebody scored an empty netter.
He like flipped it so lightly right to Bouchard, and the puck just hopped over his stick and just slid all the way down. God. I was like, man.
Speaking of Bouchard, he took a late penalty, which is the power play that Mikheyev scored on. So,
he was
getting
Cuckoo
ripped on.
Turned it right over to him.
Yeah, of course, because Cuckoo's a retard. Bottom line. Anyways, I guess I should.
I don't know if you could say that.
Yeah, I don't know if I should say that word, but anyways, yeah, the Oilers. I don't know. Bad game. Good. It was actually a good game, but rough game for the Oilers. The usual. The last month. What'd you say our record was? In the last.
Who, the Oilers?
Yeah, you said in our last 14 games, it was like.
Oh, last 13 games, they've lost 11.
God. 2 of those are
They have 2
overtime
wins.
losses, though. I think we won 3
They
games.
They aren't wins.
They're not wins. They're a point against the Islanders and the Devils, 2 of the worst teams in the league right now. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad the Oilers are losing games right now because I'd much rather things get worse and they're forced to make a change as opposed to turning things around and like going on a hot streak, because then nothing's going to change and we're going to make the playoffs and things are going to be as bad as they were last year when we got swept by the Jets. So I don't know. I
remember the off-season moves Ken Holland made were a little questionable. You thought
God,
they would be horrible. And then they had a great start. We're like, oh, maybe they weren't that bad. But now
you realize that they're bad. Well, this is the play the Oilers are having right now is what I was expecting after all those off-season moves that Ken Holland made. And then we had that good start, like you said, and then we're literally pretenders. We are the perfect term of pretender. When you say contender versus pretender, we are pretenders for sure. I don't know if you know that hockey Illuminati guy on TikTok. He's like a Leafs fan. He's got like, you definitely have seen him before. He makes very good videos on TikTok. I saw one of his videos on my For You page yesterday. He was talking about 3 things the Oilers can do to like fix things. And I mean, I agreed with everything he said. The first thing he mentioned was, of course, moving Tippett. Obviously the coaching change in Vancouver a couple weeks ago was obviously worked. We've talked about Bruce Boudreau on every episode of this podcast so far, and we'll talk about him again. The coaching change there obviously worked out well for Vancouver, so you got to think a coaching change could work out well for the Oilers. And the other thing too is Dave Tippett was on COVID protocol for 2 games against Columbus and Seattle, and those were our last 2 wins. And then Tippett came back off COVID protocol against the Blues, and we haven't won a game since. We're on a 5-game losing streak. We're going for the record. 6 is the record right now. We need 2 more losses to break it.
Yeah, because we were talking about how they had 6.
Yeah.
And then I guess Tippett left when you guys got the 2 wins.
Yeah, and he was on COVID.
I think when we were filming like the first and second episode against Columbus, they
game
won.
Was about to start, yeah. And then we beat Seattle, and then the postponement started. But he also mentioned, of course, the Mike Smith Koskinen tandem just is not NHL average. That's way below league average.
Who said that?
The hockey Illuminati guy, like the 3 things he listed. He did mention that the goaltender market right now is very slim. Like, you're not really going to find anything super good, like in terms of like free agents, but you'd have to make a trade for a goalie, and with the minimum cap that the Oilers have, it doesn't make that job easy. So you'd have to move around someone that's taking up a lot of cap space. He said Fleury and Quick are 2 like changes that might. I mean, they're not great. Like, Fleury's obviously one of the better goalies of all time, but this year he's been pretty rough.
I'd rather have them.
I'd rather have Fleury and Quick over Smith and Koskinen.
Well, you're gonna have
both? Not both. Like, I'd rather have either of them over Smith and Koskinen, like, as our starter. I think Koskinen is a good backup goalie. I think Koskinen, if he's playing like 20 games a season, is fine. But I think when we play him, every game and he's tired, like, it shows a lot. And then the last thing he mentioned was picking up a top 6 winger like Tarasenko, because Tarasenko wants out of St. Louis. And I mean, I know the Islanders have been heavily rumored, but Tarasenko is even. I saw an article the other day that apparently, even though he's been off to a great start this year, he still wants out. Apparently, the relationship between him and the Blues management is like unfixable. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind Tarasenko with McDavid. That's a 30-goal season for Tarasenko for sure, no matter what his age is. So
at least
it's better than fucking. I've been very disappointed in the last month with Zach Hyman's play. So I think if you move Hyman down to the second line and then move Yamamoto out to the third line and have Tarasenko play with McDavid and Puljujarvi and then Draisaitl, Nuge, and Hyman, that's probably
that's a good top 6.
Yeah. I mean, the Oilers' top 6 is definitely not the problem. It's everything else. It's our depth, it's our defense, and then it's our goaltending, and our coach, and our GM. Like, everything is a mess.
So everything.
Yeah,
literally
everything except the top 6, and even the top 6 fails sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, people rip on Kyle Dubas, but he's a better GM than Ken Holland. I'll tell you that for free. Nick Ritchie on waivers today.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Thank God.
I'm not upset about that.
Yeah, not at all.
He's only scored once all year.
But see, here's my thing though. I don't understand why were Leafs fans ever excited about him coming there because he's terrible. He's always been.
I don't know.
Terrible.
I always used to hate him.
Yeah.
Because he was such like a dick.
Yeah. Well, he played for the.
And
Bruins.
like he was just like a chippy player, and yeah. Kasha. I mean, the Leafs got Kasha and Richie, and everyone's like, "Oh, the
Kasha's been okay,
Bruins." Though. No, he's been good, yeah. But just because you get two players from the same team doesn't mean.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It's funny. Leafs fans think
now.
The Bruins are the greatest team in the NHL because the guys beat them. They always beat you in the first round when they're actually not that great right now. Tuukka Rask signed a tryout with Providence, so I guess that's his start to coming back to the NHL.
What even happened to him?
He just didn't want to. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know if it was contract related, like.
Or his age.
Yeah, I don't know, but they've been trying to come to an agreement, and apparently they have. But I'm sure we'll see him back up soon. I don't know if the Bruins have been really missing him though. Like, I don't think he's been the issue to why they're not dominating the league like usual. I think age is starting to catch up with them, and it's showing now. But
I think like the teams in the playoffs right now for the East, I think that's gonna be the playoffs.
Probably. Are the Red Wings still in a spot or no?
What?
Are the Red Wings still in a spot or no?
No, I think the Bruins took over.
Fuck.
But I think the teams that are in right now are gonna be the teams. I don't know if it's gonna be the same order, but I think like the Leafs, Lightning, Panthers, Bruins, Penguins, Capitals.
The Pens are on a 9-game winning streak. I don't think anyone's realized.
Yeah, I know.
That's kind of gone undetected. That's crazy. Fucking, I can't stand
Who is it? The Capitals, Rangers.
Well, why don't we go look?
There's one more team, Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina.
Yeah, there's no way like those teams aren't making the playoffs.
I don't know. I could see like the Penguins or so. I feel like the Penguins are still a little iffy. If I had to like, I know I'm probably gonna get ripped on for saying that, but I feel like they might be a little bit of an issue. Okay, so
maybe,
the top 4 teams in the Atlantic are the Lightning, the Panthers, the Leafs, and the Bruins. But the Lightning have 3 games in hand on the Leafs, 2 on the Panthers, and 6 on the Bruins. Yeah. So there's a lot of catching up for those teams. Now the Red Wings are only 1 point away from the Bruins, but they have 34 games played, and the Bruins have 29. So there's a lot of catching up. So I don't know. The Red Wings might be screwed there. And then in the Metro, the Rangers are first. Capitals are tied with them. Hurricanes, Penguins. And the Flyers are like 9 points out of a spot catching the Pens. So obviously I think those 4 teams in the bottom of the Metro are done for the year. It's pretty obvious.
I mean, it's not, you never know, but I don't know. I feel like those teams, the 8 teams in the East, it's pretty tough. And I don't know if the Leafs are going to win it around again. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be a tough fought battle for sure.
Like last year I thought it was a clear-cut win, 100%.
Yeah, so did I.
And so you never know.
Yeah, maybe it's reverse psychology.
Or maybe you do know, like that they're not going to make it this year because they can't even beat Montreal.
Yeah, but maybe now it's the year where it's reverse psychology and it's like
maybe
now that you think the Leafs are going to lose, they're actually going to win. Who knows?
Maybe, I don't know.
Looking at the Western Conference, the Central Division, the Predators are first in the Central, which I actually did not know. They're only 1 point ahead of the Blues. Then it's the Avalanche. Then it's the Wild. So those are the top 4. The Jets are 3 points. What about the wild
card and stuff?
I don't even. I'm not on the app right now. I'm gonna go. I'm just looking at the standings. Let me go into the actual app.
Cause I guess the wild card or the Wild are the first wild card, right?
Yeah. So so the wild card is the Wild and the Oilers right now, in the West, and then the top 3 in the Pacific is Vegas, Anaheim, Calgary, and then Nashville, St. Louis, Colorado. I want to talk about Anaheim actually for a second here. Since the new year.
Wait, what's the Pacific? Vegas and Anaheim?
And then Calgary, yeah.
Wow.
Anaheim was first until I guess recently, and they both have played 36 games, so there's no catching up for either of them. But Anaheim, I believe, is currently. I think they were on a 3-game losing streak, and then they won their last game against Philly. And all of those games, Trevor Zegras has been absent, so they have a 1-3 record without Zegras in the lineup. So I don't know if that's going to show anything, but he's their best player. I'm kidding, he's not their best player for sure, Troy Terry. But I don't know. I think Anaheim falls off their high horse. I've been calling it. I think everybody kind of knew it was luck I think they were taking advantage of some other teams not really performing all that well. So I think Edmonton maybe creeps into third in the Pacific to finish the year, and Calgary goes up to second.
Well, I don't know if you want that.
No, I do want.
I feel like you do.
You know what? We need to make the playoffs because, obviously I've been defending the fact that I don't think McDavid and Draisaitl will leave Edmonton. But if we miss the playoffs, that's a completely different story. Making the playoffs and losing in the first round is way different than missing the playoffs, I think. Like, at least having that chance to compete is so much different than just losing it entirely. So I don't know. But if McDavid leaves Edmonton, I'll still be an Oilers fan, obviously. But I'll always root a little bit for him wherever he is, even if it's the Leafs. I just want the guy to get the cup. No, I don't. I actually don't. I don't think McDavid's a quitter. I don't really think McDavid's the type of guy to just be. He's young still. He's got plenty of time left in the league. If
I don't
by
think he's ever gonna leave.
Maybe he signs like a 3-year deal, and if by the end of that 3-year deal the Oilers still haven't made any progression, he'd be like, okay, now I'm done. Draisaitl I could see leaving before McDavid because he's got shitty attitude, but I don't know. Like, yeah. I'll always cheer for the Oilers, but it's like my buddy who's a big Tom Brady fan. He's a Pats fan, and he still is a Pats fan, but he always roots for Brady a little bit despite him not being on the team anymore. So it'll sort of be something like that. Like, I'll obviously want McDavid to win a cup with whatever team he's with, but unless it's Calgary. If it's Calgary, that's the only team I won't cheer for if he goes there. But he won't.
What about Montreal?
Calgary. I won't cheer for Montreal, but I won't be pissed off if they win because he's there.
Or Winnipeg.
That's a tough one. Vancouver's a tough one too, but I don't think he would go to any of those teams. I don't know if he could go to the Leafs either. You guys would have to lose Matthews for him to go there, or someone, because there's too much money being taken up.
Unless he's really old and he's making like the $700,000,
which will never happen. McDavid will make over $1 million until he retires, probably, unless he has some severe fall off in skill. I actually want to talk about the Rangers now that I'm looking and I realize they're first. I did not realize the Rangers were doing so good.
I thought, like, a couple years ago when they got,
Panarin and...
Who'd they get? Like, Zibanejad, Panarin. I thought they would be really good back then, but they were still shit.
Yeah, they did have a bit of a slow
this
start.
is like what I thought. Like, they would... Actually, they're doing better than I thought.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
Like, I thought they'd be like a wild card or whatever.
Yeah, but not first. David Quinn leaving was a big thing for them. Gerard Gallant is a really good coach, and he's really given the younger guys a chance too. Like Lafreniere and Kakko have been performing a little bit better under his coaching. So
and Shesterkin.
Yeah, he's been great. Obviously, not Vezina worthy, but he's definitely up there. But sorry, I don't mean he's not Vezina worthy. I mean that Jack Campbell, in my opinion, is still the Vezina winner. So I won't give it to Shesterkin, but Shesterkin might be a finalist.
Yeah, I think so.
But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, just looking at the standings, like, the Atlantic is actually looking exactly how I predicted it. Like, as of right now. But like I said, Florida and Toronto both have games in hand. So,
I still think Tampa will probably win the division.
They probably will. Kucherov is also returning tonight. I don't know if you saw that. So,
yeah, I did.
Kuch is back. The Lightning are sort of back to full strength. And they've been winning games even without Kuch and Point. So I can't even imagine how much worse it's going to be now that Kucherov is back. I was thinking about it. The perfect team, Tyson Barrie is my least favorite Oiler. Like, I know I talk a lot of shit about Duncan Keith, but after the last 4 or 5 games, Keith has actually been playing okay. Like, it's hard to believe, but Keith has been playing decent. Tyson Barrie is by far our worst defenseman.
Keith's making a lot of long passes.
Yeah,
he sprung Puljujarvi against the Leafs, which I thought was pretty good play. But
Keith has always been good at that, though, to be fair. But I feel like Tyson Barrie would be a good fit on Tampa Bay, like a team where he doesn't have to play much defense and he can just solely focus on offense. I feel like he'd look good there.
And win a cup.
Yeah, exactly. But I've heard the Bruins are looking for like a puck-moving offensive defenseman, so trade them Cassian and Barrie. That dumps a bunch of money off the Oilers' back, and then get a goalie. I don't know.
Oh shit, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe pick up DeBrusk. DeBrusk is an Edmonton boy. His dad does the broadcast for the Oilers, so I don't know. Maybe bring him over. Swayman, I would not mind Swayman. I don't know if they'd get rid of Swayman though, because Rask is the oldest. Maybe send Rask to Edmonton. That'd be
Or
okay.
what about? I mean, Allmark
Allmark.
they have.
Yeah, but I don't know. They probably wouldn't trade Allmark. They probably wouldn't trade any of their goalies. I feel like Rask wants to end a Bruin. Swayman's young. Allmark is pretty good right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
In the whole league, Tampa's first by 1 point, and they're 1 point up on Florida, Rangers, and Washington. So it's no clear-cut winner yet for the President's Trophy. The President's Trophy is a curse. I've said it over and over again. If Tampa wins the President's Trophy, I don't think they're going to win the cup. I will stand by the President's Trophy curse. They won 2 years in a row. They were not the first place team either year. So, and then the year where they won like 63 games or 62 games, they lost, got swept by Columbus, which is to this day one of the craziest things in like sports entirely, not just hockey. Vegas going to the finals is definitely up there too in their first year, but
yeah, I remember in Game 1 of the Columbus series, like Tampa was winning like 3-0 in the game.
Yeah, they blew it. Yeah,
and they lost.
I was at work.
Columbus just won.
I was at work that day, and I was still doing cash at that time, so I was able to watch. I was literally watching the game while I was working. It was a very slow night, and one of the guys I was working with, he's like a big Tampa like denier. He's always like he's never thought Tampa was ever gonna win. Like he always felt they were always overhyped. And so Tampa goes up 3-0 or whatever in this game, and I'm showing him, I'm like, bro, they might not win the cup, but they're gonna steamroll Columbus. And then Columbus comes back and wins. Did they win in overtime or was it regulation? I think it might have been an overtime.
I think it was regulation.
Game. It was 4-3 or something. I feel like
4-3,
Panarin scored the winner. I think it was Panarin. I could be wrong though.
Probably.
But yeah, and then they just lost the next 3, and I was like, this is insane. And I've never picked Tampa to win the cup again after that year. I've always said Colorado would get the job done, and then they win the next 2. So I don't fucking know.
Like the year of the bubble, I thought Tampa was gonna win. I was like, okay, I think this is their year.
You had them winning the cup on the bracket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I had them playing Tampa, Colorado playing Tampa in the finals.
I had Colorado.
I had the Flyers playing Colorado in the finals, I think.
Jesus.
Which you know what? That might seem like a bad pick now, but back then Carter Hart was having his really good season. They beat the Flyers or the Habs in the first round. They went to the second round, and I don't remember who they lost to. Might have been Tampa.
I mean, the Leafs can't do that. but
yeah,
I think I put Tampa and Colorado. But who was it? Dallas?
Yeah, Dallas
and
Tampa. They were not ready for a cup final. God, I remember that. I remember watching the final game between Dallas and Vegas, and I think didn't Gary Onov score an OT winner on the power play because Zach Whitecloud took a stupid penalty, but he was a rookie. Yeah. See, that's the difference. Zach Whitecloud is a rookie defenseman, makes a crappy play, cost his team the series, gets good ice time the next year. Ethan Bear, not one shitty play. Shitty series against the Jets, traded to Carolina in the offseason. Wow. Like, how do we... Wow. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Then what about Mitch Marner? Shitty in the playoffs?
Yeah, but here's the difference, though. Marner is shitty in the playoffs, but he's elite in the regular season. Bear was mediocre in the regular season and shitty in the playoffs. So, pick your poison, but...
Yeah. Well, what's next? Oh, Cale Makar, that goal.
Yeah, give me a sec. My headset accidentally unplugged. Fuck.
Jesus.
We're good now. Yeah, Cale Makar scored a beauty against the Blackhawks in overtime the other night, just showing off that elite edge work. He's the best edge skater in the league, probably.
That's why his X factor is edge work.
Yeah,
or
literally.
Whatever elite edges.
I was telling Mahav, my buddy Mahav, yesterday. We were on NHL. I don't know, for those of you who have the new NHL game, it shows like highlights in the menu of like the players showcasing their X Factor ability. So like you'll see Draisaitl make like a crazy pass to McDavid to showcase like his tape to tape. Next year, if they do the same thing, Makar will definitely have that goal as his elite edges showcase for sure.
Yeah.
Guy absolutely
I didn't even know Makar was like. I mean, I knew he was a good skater, obviously, but like, I didn't know his superstar ability was elite edges.
Yeah, every goal he scores or assists, he always does. Like, I don't know if have you seen that? I don't know if it was against Minnesota. It might have been. He
Yeah, he
like
broke his
dangled out like
ankles.
6 guys on Minnesota and then made a pass to
Yeah.
McKinnon or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's insane. I actually want to talk a little bit more about Makar. I'm gonna spit a hot take right
How
now.
old is he? How old is he? 22?
Yeah, I think so. Right now, I'm saying it. Cale
Uh,
Makar is the second best player on earth right now. He's better than Draisaitl.
Really?
He's better than Matthew. I don't like putting defensemen against forwards like in rankings, but like if you made me
Like you
rank
said.
every position in the league against each other, I would put Cale Makar at second right now. I actually think Matthews is third right now. I think he's ahead of Draisaitl at the moment. Draisaitl's been playing very lazy hockey the last couple games. So I'll put Matthews at third for sure, and it's close. Like Makar's not blowing out the other guys by a mile. I'm just saying right now, I think he's second in the world. Like we are looking at another Erik Karlsson in his prime, like amazing at offense and like great at defense. And I don't know, Colorado's so lucky.
Like,
So
didn't they,
lucky.
like, how'd they even get him?
They drafted him first round. He got drafted like
They drafted him?
Yeah, I
thought he was just, like, a college kid.
okay.
They
Let's
just
look it up.
signed.
Let's see. Let's actually fact check that. I think he got drafted the same year as Heiskanen or maybe Quinn Hughes.
Did he? Maybe. I don't know, but I thought he was just a college kid.
And they just
that he
called him up.
signed. Yeah, and they
No,
just,
four.
and he just played
He
in
was
the
he was
playoffs.
selected 4th overall in 2017 by
Oh,
the
shit,
Avs.
2017.
Yeah, and guess who gave them that 4th over? No, that was not the right. That wasn't the 4th overall pick. The Sens gave them the Bowen Byram pick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those fucking idiots. I hate the Senators, man. You guys do everything good for every other team. You don't do anything good for yourself.
Yeah.
You guys think
they're shit and they give other teams
because
draft picks.
what happened? They thought they were going to be elite because they had the 2017
Duchesne.
playoff
They got
run.
Duchesne.
Yeah, they got Duchesne, gave the Avalanche a first rounder, and then they sucked. And they gave the Avalanche a 4th overall pick, which they used to get Bowen Byram. And now, I mean, Byram hasn't played too much this year because he's been injured, but like Cale Makar and Bowen Byram as a defensive pairing in like 3 years, oh God, help me.
Yeah.
The Avalanche are
Jesus.
going to be running the show very soon.
I thought they would have already been.
They kind of are.
They kind of have.
They kind of, yeah. They're obviously not
Not-
first right now, but they've had some injuries and COVID's been screwing with them a little bit. So I don't know. I fucking hate COVID, man. It's so shitty. We're back in a semi lockdown here in Ontario, which sucks. But I was supposed to be at the Leafs Oilers game last night, actually, if it wasn't for the cancellation, like the fans getting canceled. So,
Yeah.
but
That sucks. I mean, you would have seen them lose.
But I don't think I've ever seen the Oilers win in Toronto before. I never have. I've seen the Oilers win in Florida. That's about the only place I've seen them win. They lost to Buffalo this year
Yeah.
when I went. I'm gonna start milking Buffalo for games, honestly. Like when I was supposed to see Zegras play in Toronto on January 26th. That game doesn't have fans either. But like next year, when I want to watch Anaheim and I want to watch Zegras, I'm just going to go to Buffalo. If I was at the game in Buffalo this year, I would have seen him do the Michigan pass
Yeah.
to Sonny Milano.
If COVID, I mean, once it goes away, I feel like Buffalo would be a great experience. Just driving down there and just
Yeah, it's
going.
so
'Cause
and the tickets
games
are so
cheaper.
cheap. I don't know if I mentioned it on this episode, but when I was there watching the game, the Leafs were in town the next night, and I remember, obviously me and you were supposed to go that weekend and like stay in Buffalo, but then because of COVID concerns, you didn't end up going, so I just went with my family. But so the Leafs were in town the next night after Edmonton, and
We would have stayed back-to-back games.
Yeah.
And seen.
got to see a bunch of superstars back, and the Leafs won like with seconds left. Morgan Riley scored a nice
Morgan
goal.
Riley. Yeah. That wasn't really that nice.
It was just a nice
He shot off
shot.
the crossbar, and then it fell down.
Oh, I thought it
the
went
ice, and
bar down.
backspun.
I thought it
No,
went bar.
hit-
Oh crap!
hit crossbar crease, and it hit like the corner of the puck, and then it
Jesus
fell in the net.
Christ.
Like, how does that even happen? We would have seen that. We would
Yeah.
have saw that live.
Yeah, I was sitting like 6 rows up. I would have seen it like right in front of me too. The way that where our seats were, like because I think we were originally gonna buy the same seats for the Leafs game that I sat in for the Oilers game. We were like 5 rows up from the glass, in the corner of the offensive zone where the Leafs attack twice. So we would have seen it right there pretty much. But so anyways,
Yeah.
the guys sitting in front of me and my dad and my family, were there. They weren't really like hockey fans, but they were there because like McDavid was in town and Draisaitl, so they're like, yeah, let's just go watch like, you know, this top tier talent play. And then of course the next night you've got Matthews, Marner, and like the rest of the Leafs talent in town, and they were like, hey, why don't we just go watch the game tomorrow? Like, imagine the luxury of being in a city where the tickets are so cheap that like you can just buy tickets hours before the game and go for like $50 and sit 5 rows up from the glass.
You could do that in Toronto, but
you have to pay $340. Actually, more. It's more depending on where you want to sit.
That's crazy, man. Like,
but like, how much is it?
Like,
how much is
imagine going to Florida or Arizona. Like,
well, I watched so I went to Florida for March break in grade 9, and coincidentally, the Oilers were in town for a game that week, and we were like 10 minutes away from the arena where we were staying. So we bought tickets to go watch them play, and the Oilers. McDavid scored a beauty that game. So did Barkov too. Barkov scored one of his mindless breakaways. But yeah, I got to watch. I think that's the only game I've seen the Oilers win, to be honest, live. I don't think I've ever seen us win another game. Like, I can't. I'm trying to think. I mean, I saw McDavid play in Erie, or in Mississauga.
This year I went to go see Vegas in Toronto.
And you lucked out too, because Vegas had nobody on their team. Yeah, it was like a fucking AHL team.
4-0.
Yeah.
No, Marner had that nice like spin goal. Matthews got 2, I think.
Yeah.
And Nylander got 1, I'm pretty sure.
One thing I will say is I'm very excited for Eichel to come back so we can see him playing on Vegas. That is going to be a show to
They're already
watch.
first. They're already first.
Yeah, I know. And people say they don't have a first line center. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Chandler Stevenson is not bad. Like, I know he's not your picture-perfect first-line center, but, like, the guy was, like, 10th in points, or I think he still might be, unless things have changed since I last checked.
He's underrated.
He is underrated. But now you're going to have Eichel playing with Pacioretty and Stone. It's like, Jesus. Lord have mercy. That is probably the best first line in the NHL now. I'm trying to think who has a better first line.
The Leafs.
No, but you guys have... But see, who's your first line?
Bunting.
Matthews?
Bunting,
yeah,
Marner.
He's the weak link, Bunting. Yeah. Bunting's no Pacioretty. And God, Marner's no Stone.
Who else? What was I going to say?
Tampa Bay, maybe.
Oh, yeah,
no,
Tampa.
God,
Tampa.
no, it's not the Oilers.
Or Colorado. Rantanen.
Yeah, Colorado's probably the best line right now. That's probably still better. McKinnon is better than Eichel. Rantanen's better than Stone.
And then Boston used to have...
Yeah, they used to have a gross first line. They call it the perfection line. Yeah, you know what I call the other 3 lines? Garbage. Like, people used to talk about how Edmonton was a 2-man team. Boston had 1 line. Like, David Krejci was pretty good. And they
were still good, though.
Yeah, but that's because they had a good goalie and good defense. Now they don't have Chara. McAvoy's their last hope. And I know that one kid or whoever it was commented on our video telling us we were wrong about McAvoy. He's still overrated as fuck. He is not a top. I don't think he's a top 5 defenseman in the NHL. Makar's number 1. Hedman's still up there. Fox is there. Dougie Hamilton
Yossi.
Probably. Yossi's there. And then the other one's a toss-up.
Drew Doughty. I'm just kidding.
No, God. PK Subban?
Fuck.
No, man.
Justin Hall?
Maybe. Duncan Keith. No, Barry probably. McAvoy's still like a top 7 defenseman. I cannot think of 7 defensemen better than McAvoy, but I definitely can think of 4.
What about Seth Jones?
No. He is terrible, man. I will die. Dude, I've always thought he sucked. People always used to get into arguments with me. I remember our buddy Charlie was like, why don't you want the Oilers to get McAvoy? Or, Seth Jones when he was like on the move in the summer. I was like, dude, he would come here and be our worst defenseman if he came to Edmonton. He's better than Barry, but like at the time, Barry was doing really good offensively. So I was like, dude, like, I hate him. I hate Seth Jones. He's terrible. He is so bad, man. Him and Nurse on the top pairing, God help me, that's a lot of goals against. All right, we have straight off the list a bit. What were you gonna say?
Cody Ceci. Fuck.
No, he's been good, man. Cody Ceci was good on the Pens last year, and I was hoping he would bring that play to Edmonton, and he has. I just think the Leafs were utilizing him poorly when he was there, and that's what screwed him. And he sucked on the Sens too, obviously, but he was also being utilized poorly there. All right, anyways. So next thing I want to mention, Darren Dreger, a TSN insider, mentioned that apparently he's heard that Owen Power and Mason McTavish are on Team Canada's Olympic team in Beijing next month, which is great because I was super excited to watch those two guys at the World Juniors, and now we get to see them play at an even higher level, so we'll really see if they're up for it.
When we did watch them, like, they were actually, like, really exciting.
Yeah, they were Canada's two best players. Bedard was up there, and Perfetti, but, like, defenseman-wise, obviously Power was our best defenseman, and I'd say Perfetti made some slick plays, but, like, McTavish looked the most NHL ready.
I think McTavish was probably their best.
Forward, yeah. All around,
like, besides Bedard, like, I don't know. I feel like McTavish is... I don't know if he's better than Bedard, honestly, but...
Well, right now he is. He won't be...
He's stronger.
When Bedard gets older and bigger and stuff, he will definitely be better than McTavish. But, like, now, McTavish is just bigger. It's just an unfair advantage. Speaking of, did you see Connor Bedard and Jesse Pollock were doing an interview? And Connor Bedard said his favorite player right now is Tyler Mott. No, I am not lying. Tyler Mott on the Vancouver Canucks is his favorite player. Tyler Mott doesn't even play every NHL game. He's still an AHL fringe NHL starter. I swear to God. And Jesse Pollock even said to him, like, that's a good pick. How?
What?
I mean, you know what though? But I guess it's nice to change up the answer because every time you ask one of these young kids who their favorite player is, it's Crosby or Ovi or Kane. Like every guy on the U.S. team with Zegras and Hughes, every guy on that team said, "Yeah, my favorite player is Kane," which I can't blame them. Kane's the best American player ever. He's slick. He's got the nice hands. Matthews
is second.
Ever? I don't know if he's ever yet. He will be. I don't know yet though. Brett Hull's got to be the best one, second best still.
Yeah, probs.
Or Jeremy Roenick, he's up there too. He's gross.
That's crazy. Who's the best Canadian? Oh, Gretzky, obviously.
well.
Crosby
or McDavid are the best players. The greatest players are Gretzky and Lemieux and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Bobby Orr's Canadian.
Yeah. So it was Gordy.
Is Howe Canadian?
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, I think. God, I don't want to be wrong. I'm everything that has to do with the Red Wings, I get nervous about, man.
He's probably fucking Swedish.
Gordie Howe? I don't know. He's Canadian.
He's definitely not Swedish. But I'm just.
Did I?
European.
I don't know if I've ever spit this hot take here. I was talking about it at work with our buddy Charlie. Actually, Nicholas Lidstrom is the best defenseman ever. He's better than Bobby Orr, man. I don't have Bobby Orr. I don't have Bobby Orr in my top 5 players. But the best defenseman on my list is Nicholas Lidstrom. Like, God. People don't understand how good Nicholas Lidstrom was, man. I'm convinced if Ken Holland did not draft Nicholas Lidstrom, he would not be an NHL GM anymore. I saw a meme. You know that meme? I told you about it. The meme of Dave showing him at the McDonald's, in the McDonald's outfit, Dave Tippett, because like the Oilers were losing games. And then I told you that same account posted one of Ken Holland, and the caption was, if Ken Holland never drafted Nicholas Lidstrom. And it was him flipping hamburgers at McDonald's. But, like, dude, I don't know. Like, Bobby Orr's obviously good, but Bobby Orr played in such, like, a more small era of hockey.
I mean, obviously, yeah. You could say that about Gretzky,
too. Fair. Yeah, true. But, I don't know. I just think Nick Lidstrom was better at defense at the position than him.
Yeah, and McDavid's better than Gretzky.
And so is Crosby.
Yeah, but...
Crosby is a top 5 greatest player ever. Like, he's still top 5, in my opinion. But, like, in terms of skill...
I think you gotta say... Or the greatest, but like Lidstrom might be the best. Like it's the same. Like
it's the same argument with Gretzky and McDavid or Gretzky
discussion.
And Crosby and stuff. Anyways,
I hope people know. I hope people know what we mean by
greatest and best. It's two different things.
Yeah. Like Gretzky's the greatest, but McDavid
is the best in terms of like just revolutionary skill.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is actually one thing I forgot to write down. My dad just texted me and reminded me. My dad sent me a lineup for the Oilers, what he would do if he was the head coach, and he said fodder for your podcast, and I forgot to write it down on the list, so I want to quickly bring it up. This is my dad's ideal Oilers lineup, and I don't know if there's any Oilers fans listening, but we'll just see if they agree.
Hopefully more people view
after the TikTok. Yeah, the TikTok, hopefully that helps us grow a bit on the YouTube, because our TikTok videos have been going off the last few days.
We're getting like 2,000,
on every video.
Views.
Yeah. Okay, so he has McDavid with Hyman and McLeod on the first line. So nothing too different there other than Puljujarvi not being there. He has Draisaitl with Nuge and Puljujarvi on the second line. He's got Fogle with Yamamoto and Shore on the third line. And then Ryan with Cassian and Benson on the fourth line. And then Sevier and Turris are our extras. Defensively, it's Bouchard and Nurse, which is the current pairing. Keith, CC, the current pairing. Barry, Broberg. And then you have Cuckoo as the extra. I would put Cuckoo in Broberg. Fuck Barry. But obviously Barry will play because he's making more money and stuff. Power play unit 1. McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Nuge, and Bouchard. Power play unit 2. McLeod, Fogle, Puljujarvi, and then Barry and Nurse together. Because right now our power play unit is essentially the first one my dad mentioned, but it's Barry instead of Bouchard. And then Bouchard is with Nurse on the second unit. But he said he would still have McDavid and Draisaitl's power play unit, the first unit, play the full 2 minutes. Because they usually do. It's like the Capitals. Ovechkin plays 2 minutes of power play time every...
Does he?
Yes. Maybe not anymore, but he used to. God. The guy every power play. If the Capitals had a power play, I would bet money every time that Ovechkin was going to score. And I'd probably get at least 75% of the bets right. Guy scored he's first now in power play goals, isn't he?
Ever.
So there you go. Yeah.
Who he passed? He passed
I don't know.
Andrechuk or something. Dave Andrechuk?
Yeah, maybe. It might have been.
Andrechuk? I forget his name. It's something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Don't roast me in the comments. I don't know his name.
Speaking of, TikTok's next up on the list here of things we want to talk about.
Are we talking about this now?
We can, yeah. I'm getting buried alive on one of the comment sections on our TikTok. We've been doing those 82-0 things on TikTok that a couple of accounts have done before to make it popular. Funny enough, the guy that is like the most popular hockey account for that,
hockey-wise,
what's his username again? It's Top Shelf something. I can't remember if it's Russ.
Top Shelf.
Stop recording. Sorry, boys, we're back. It was off recording for like 5 seconds there. Anyways, what I was saying before, I guess I didn't hear it. I had the dreaded Montreal Canadiens as a pick for the 82-0 thing, and I had my centerman, so I couldn't take Suzuki, and I could have taken Price, and people definitely let me know I could have taken Price. But I kind of forgot Price because he hasn't played all year, so I was like, crap. And I was also sort of hoping I could get a better goalie too, and then I ended up with Blackwood, which wasn't the best. But I made a new team, which is our most viewed video, and that also is I'm getting a lot more respect on that one for sure.
Yeah.
But I want to also quickly mention.
You picked Caulfield over Price.
Yeah,
I think that's where people.
That's a rough pick. In hindsight, that's a rough pick. But people are forgetting. Caulfield obviously doesn't have good stats this year, but he's not terrible, man. If he played with Matt Barzal and I think Raymond was my other winger, he's gonna get points. That's what people don't understand.
I feel like they're too young though. Raymond. I don't know. Playing. No, he's been doing well this year.
I don't know.
With
it depends.
Larkin.
I don't even. Who are my defensemen again? Nurse,
Theodore, and
Theodore,
Nurse.
yeah. And one thing, I don't know. I think the audio must have stopped working when I opened TikTok. So, Top Shelf Russ was the account name, by the way, again, of the guy who followed us. So again, shout out to him.
Mine was recording, so maybe it's
that's fine.
You got mine still,
but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you guys might have missed me saying when I thought the audio was working, but you guys didn't really miss anything too important.
Who was my team? So I did one of just random. So I think my first one was I got Ottawa and I picked Kachuk. Probably should have picked Shabbat
or Norris even. I think Norris is better than Kachuk right now.
I don't know. I just picked Kachuk because whatever. And then I got Pittsburgh and I got Crosby.
Crosby's pretty no-brainer.
Then I got St. Louis and I got Krug
right? Yeah.
for defense. Then I got the Jets. I got Hellebuck.
That's a big pick.
So
good goalie.
I was like, okay, hopefully we get a goalie here. And then it was the Jets. I was like, holy, thank God. And then I think I got Montreal. So I picked Toffoli.
Yeah. And then who was your last
team? I didn't want to pick Weber or Petrie because they've been kind of shit.
Yeah.
But
Weber's not even playing, really. He's retired. At least I consider him to be retired.
Or he's something, yeah. I got Jared Spurgeon on the Wild.
That's good. That's a pretty good pick.
And then I think I did another one
where you called out the position, right?
Where I called out, so it was a random team, and I was like, "Okay, give me a center or whatever." So I get center, and I got the Rangers. So I picked Zibanejad.
That's a pretty good
then
start.
I think I got
I think you did a defenseman
defense.
next. I just don't remember who it was.
I forget who it was. I don't want to look on TikTok.
Yeah, then it ends the audio, yeah.
Fuck.
Well, I don't know, like, I think it's because when the last time I was on TikTok, it was on my For You page, so the video ended the audio. I feel like right now, because I don't know, who cares?
I remember who it was.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it was, I got Detroit, so I got Cider.
Cider, yeah. Yes, that's right.
And then I got...
Who was your goalie again?
It was... so then I did another... So I did a winger, and I got Arizona, and I got Keller.
Yeah.
Then I got a goalie, and I got Gibson.
Yeah, that's good. And then your last D-man and last
Then I think I got a D was Hedman. I got Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And then I got St. Louis, so I picked Tarasenko.
Yeah,
so I think that
good.
team was better.
Yeah, that team was good, yeah.
But yeah, Owen's videos have been getting more views. I don't know why.
Just luck, I think. But
I guess
I've
it's just
luck.
luck.
To the 2 hashtag. I use the same
I've
hashtag.
only been using two, too.
Hockey and FYP. That's all I use. So I'll just start
That's all
doing
I
that
use,
from
too.
now on, and hopefully when we post the video about the podcast on Monday when this episode comes out, and we use that method, hopefully that one blows up because episode 3 was we'll rotate. We'll do every week. We'll swap.
Yeah.
All right, next up on the list, Jacob Chikrin. So, Puck Empire, which is like my favorite. Yeah, speaking of Arizona. My favorite hockey account on Instagram is Puck Empire. They're like the best for news and post-game like scores and stuff like that. They actually posted a news feed today of like a bunch of different news around the league type things, and apparently the asking price for Jacob Chikrin is scary high. And apparently it has pushed a lot of pursuers away.
Is it like a Jack Eichel type?
It's more. It's got to be more.
More.
The asking price for Eichel was pretty high, and did we talk about what they wanted from Anaheim on last week's episode?
I don't know what it was like. Oh, maybe, but I know we talked about it was like Zegras.
Yeah.
Drysdale,
So for those
just
in case we didn't, Buffalo wanted Zegras, Drysdale, and 2 firsts. So essentially the entire future of Anaheim for Jack Eichel, but. Yeah, maybe the asking price for Eichel was high like this, but at the same time, I feel like what Buffalo ended up going with, just having Tuck, Krebs, and the picks, wasn't what the asking price was. That's probably why. Like, I'm feeling like but I don't think there's a way where Arizona settles for that. You know what I mean? Like, I think because the situation that Eichel was in with like desperately wanting to leave and like his career potentially on the line because Buffalo wouldn't let him leave. I think Buffalo just said, "All right, you know what? Fine, this is the best we're gonna get. Let's just go with it." And then,
it wasn't a bad. What was the trade? Tuck.
It was Tuck, Krebs, and some picks for Eichel, and I think a third or something. But the other thing, too, is I'm pretty sure, because we all know Kevin Weeks, he reported that Matthew Tkachuk was getting traded to Buffalo. That was the night before Tuck got traded and Vegas had gone through. And I'm pretty sure that it's not confirmed or anything, but I'm convinced that Vegas had somebody like feed him information like that. Or no, sorry. Maybe it was a guy. Maybe I think my dad had mentioned it to me. He thinks that a player, like a Buffalo insider, told Kevin Weeks that was happening to force Vegas to show their cards and give them like that last trade that they would go with. Because like I think what was holding Vegas back from doing the deal was Peyton Krebs not wanting to get rid of him. Because if you look at draft picks that Vegas has had, Nick Suzuki was drafted by Vegas. Now he's on Montreal. Krebs drafted, traded to Buffalo. Like, they don't have any of their first rounders.
And they had Cody Glass,
who also is now on Nashville. So, like, they don't have any other first round picks. And so I think they didn't want to give away Krebs, but then when they saw that Tkachuk was getting traded there, they was like, crap, okay, if we want Eichel, we need to give them Krebs, and then that's what forced them to. And the Tkachuk trade was never going to happen, and so Buffalo fleeced the fuck out of Vegas. Okay, they didn't fleece them, but, like, they fucked with their head and made them do the trade, even though they might not have wanted to.
Yeah.
But, yeah, apparently the asking price for Chikrin is extremely high. The Oilers were in on Chikrin, and then we were, like, one of the first teams.
Do you know some players
that have been rumored?
Yeah.
No, I haven't actually heard. I haven't even heard, like, what the template is for the trade. Like, I haven't even heard if they want, like, a star and then, like, 2 firsts or something like that. I don't know what they want.
But it's really high, like, the asking
Yeah, it's got to be
price.
something like that, but... I don't know. I mean, Arizona's either going to have to lower their asking price if they want a team to bite on a trade, or they're going to have to just keep him and not get what
I
they
mean,
could
I
get
would
for
keep
him.
Chikrin for my team, but if it's Arizona, like the player probably wouldn't want to stay
Well,
there.
you've got other situations too. Well, you know what though? The difference is that at least Arizona's a nice place. Like the weather's nice all year round. So like maybe Chikrin's like, you know what, my team might suck ass, but at least the weather's nice, and I'm not pissy because it's
At least I'm
minus
making- at least
30
I'm
in
making
the
millions.
winter. Yeah, but it's tough because like obviously Arizona you'd think as Arizona you want to keep your best players because you already suck, so losing your best players will make you worse. But I'm pretty sure that's Arizona's plan. I'm pretty sure Arizona wants to get Shane Wright and Bedard back-to-back years and then start to build their franchise with those two guys.
If that happens,
That might be their plan. Literally, they might eventually just give Chikrin away for just junk. Like not junk, but they might give Chikrin away for like a lesser deal than what they're asking for right now because they want to suck. And if you clear house on your good players, you're only going to get worse. Clayton Keller might get traded too.
and then Matthews going to fucking Arizona.
I
don't think he will.
I don't think he will, but I legitimately could see. I could fully see Matthews is an RFA, right?
Probably.
If he is, I could fully see Arizona tossing $13 million at him, and the Leafs have to match it. They will.
Wait, that's unrestricted, right? Or no, that's RFA.
No,
Yeah,
UFA,
that's RFA.
UFA is when the guy can just
Yeah,
sign
yeah,
whatever he
yeah,
wants.
yeah.
But wow, the Ducks just placed a bunch of players in COVID protocol. I just got a tweet. Speaking of that, Trevor Zegras was at morning skate today with the team and then isn't allowed to play.
And he was goalie.
Yeah,
He was being
I
put
saw
on
that.
his
He made a
gloves.
glove save, baby. Guy's
Yeah.
good at everything.
That was the lightest shot I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was a floater. I don't know who it was, but it was a floater at him. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever team scores Chikrin might have to cough up a lot if they do really want him that bad. But I'm glad the Oilers backed out of the race because I don't even want to know what they were asking for. I'm just surprised Ken Holland was like, fuck, if you want Nuge, Pooley, RV2 first, sure, have it. No, man, that's a terrible trade. I don't care how good Chikrin is, bro. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Okay, the last. Well, we have two more things. We have Matthews' COVID situation. So I'll let you lead this one because he's a Leaf.
I don't really know like if there's much to talk about, but he was positive
And then
on a
not
rapid
positive.
test, and then he did a PCR test and he was fucking negative.
But that's what I'm saying,
So
bro.
he played.
Go. Yeah,
I
go
have
ahead.
him on my fantasy. I have him on my fantasy team, and like COVID-19, so I put him on IR, and I picked up Evan Rodriguez from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And then Matthews
And-
played.
And then and then
I switch it.
and then I saw, so he was positive, I was like, okay, and then I saw that he was negative, so he's not ruled out to play. So then I put him back in, and then I dropped Rodriguez again.
God.
But Rodriguez got a power play goal, which I'm getting killed right now in my week.
Bro, I don't even care anymore. I still set my
Yeah.
lineup and stuff because I want to like at least be a like I want
I want to
still
see if my
play.
team will do good.
Yeah, but like I'm getting killed, man. Like my team,
yeah,
just all my guys are on COVID and like I don't know, bro. I don't know. Next
I don't
year,
know, but Matthews got an
some,
assist, so
yeah, it's not that bad, but still, it's 5 points you could have had with Evan
Yeah.
Rodriguez in the lineup. But, yeah, I think I mentioned it last week about how I was convinced that like the Oilers and the Leafs were lying about like Leon and like
Yeah, you
Draisaitl
just
and
said it.
McDavid and stuff, and then McDavid's on protocol.
Matthews was for
Hey,
a
that
bit.
PCR test might be negative, or it might have been positive. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
Who knows, man? But the negative test, the rapid tests are so crap, so crap. Like, there's no way they actually work. They might in some cases because
I saw the rapid tests they're more like inaccurate if you're like asymptomatic.
yeah,
I don't know what that means.
yeah.
But, like-
That would make sense because my girlfriend tested positive like earlier this week, and I was at her house the day, like hours before she tested positive. Like I had come home, and then 2 hours later she texted me. She's like, I tested positive, and I ate dinner at her house.
Oh, you're pregnant? No,
Sitting right next to her, and I did a rapid test the next morning, was negative, which I don't understand how that's possible. And then I haven't done another rapid test since because I haven't developed any symptoms. So maybe I don't have it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just immune.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I just can't get it. But yeah, to my understanding, I've never had COVID so far, unless I just had it.
I don't think I have. I mean, we might have in the beginning, but
yeah,
I mean, one of my brothers has it, so he's been locked up in his room.
But, yeah, see, that's the thing. My family doesn't care. Like if I had COVID,
but nobody else has got any symptoms in my family.
Yeah,
and he didn't until. So we went to my grandma's, and my cousins were there too, and we go home, and my cousin apparently was tested positive, and nobody else was feeling sick. And then a couple days later, my brother started feeling sick. Yeah. So then he tested. He was negative. So oh shit, okay. And then he did another test because he started feeling worse. And then he was positive. So I don't know how the fuck this thing works.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's just a disaster.
But I don't know. I haven't been feeling anything. Nor has my other brother or my parent. I mean, my mom kind of, but I think that's just the weather or whatever.
Yeah.
But my dad hasn't either. So I don't know. I don't fucking know what's wrong with this Omicron,
whatever it is. I don't.
Isn't it Omicron?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
People are saying Omicron. It's not
it's
not Omicron.
Yeah, I don't think it is Omicron.
It's Omicron or whatever.
What is this? Transformers?
Whatever. Who gives this?
God.
Yeah. Decepticon.
Yeah. Anyways, the last thing we have on the list here, we'll probably ramble on about something to drag this out a bit, but the Oilers and like what I would do to fix the team. I also want to talk about Koskinen's remark back at Dave Tippett. I loved seeing him fire back a little bit of friendly fire by Mikko Koskinen. So, Mikko Koskinen is the GOAT of allowing shitty goals. Not the GOAT at anything else, but he allows some pretty shit goals. And he had a goal where he went out to play the puck, and I don't remember who it was, but it was someone on the Rangers stole it from him and then passed it out to, I think, Lafreniere in front, and he scored. That was the first goal for the Rangers. And that's obviously a big momentum-killing goal. Like, your goalie allows that to happen. Like, obviously, you're going to be a little bit beat up over it. But, so that happens or whatever. And then Dave Tippett had some remarks after the game about how, like, overall he thinks the team played good, but Koskinen allows some pretty weak goals, and that sort of kills the team. And Tippett's not wrong. I hate on Tippett a lot, but he's not wrong. And I want to find Koskinen's quote because I want to read it exactly. I don't want to just try and just make up what he said.
He said something about like he can't score goals.
Yeah, so he said. Shit. So Dave Tippett said, it's a brutal mistake. What are you going to do? Call it what it is. We're playing well, and it's a brutal mistake. Our goaltending wasn't very good, and we didn't get enough pucks to the net to get back in the game. And then Koskinen says, it's not nice for anybody to be thrown under the bus, but this is how it goes in this business. When the team loses, it's either the coach or goalie who gets sacrificed. I have to be better, but at the same time, we scored 7 goals in my last 6 losses. I can't score goals. It's not only about goaltending when it comes to winning and losing. Everybody has to be better from now on, and we will be. We're not this bad. And I love hearing that from a guy like Koskinen because, like, at least somebody in the Oilers locker room thinks they're better than what they're playing like right now. Because I think they're better than what they're playing like right now as a fan. But, like, Koskinen is right, man. The Oilers scoring 7 goals in their last 6 losses for Koskinen. Like, come on. You got to score more than 7 goals in that 6-game stint. That's just over a goal per game. And then you've got Mikko Koskinen who usually lets in at least 3. You got to score at least 4 or 5 goals to win a game with Koskinen or Smith in net. So I don't know. It's just like Koskinen's not wrong in what he's saying, but I think both are at fault. I think Tippett's at fault for throwing him under the bus when his coaching strategy clearly isn't working anymore. And I think Koskinen also needs to start saving more pucks that should not be going in the net.
Or passing it right to the other team.
Yeah, that
he should just stay in his net, I think.
Yeah, maybe. God, it's funny that Smith doesn't make more mistakes like that because Smith always plays the puck. He cannot resist. If the puck comes behind the net, Mike Smith has to go get it. Fuck, Smith, stay in net. It is not that hard, bro. I don't get what his issue is, man. It's insane to me. It is absolutely insane how much that guy wants to play the puck. But
and doesn't he have a goal too? Hasn't he scored?
I would hope so. If he's
Yeah.
playing the puck that much, I'd hope he has a goal. Not with the Oilers, but I'm sure he had.
Not on his own net,
Who's the most
too.
recent one to score? Our boy Pekarine?
Rene?
I think it was, yeah. Broder had like 3 or something.
What team does he play for, Melon? What team?
I'm gonna have to go with New Jersey on this one.
Yeah.
God, the Devils could use him right now. Fuck, have a 40, 50-year-old Broder come play. He's better than Blackwood. I was so high on Blackwood. I thought Blackwood was gonna be really, really good. Sure, he's having a rough year and he could still be better, but he's not performing like I thought he was.
And then you got him in your TikTok video, and you're like, oh, that's not the greatest.
Yeah, it isn't the greatest. I could have had better, but it's like middle. He's middle of the pack, I think.
Low, middle.
I love bro. I need to get a Jack Hughes jersey. That's the next jersey I'm getting. I'm gonna get it. I need a Draisaitl jersey. I still don't have one. I'm gonna get a Jack Hughes or a Draisaitl jersey next. I have a Zegras one. By the way, anybody who lives in Toronto on Sunday, I think I'm going to Nathan Phillips Square to skate around. I'm gonna be ripping the Zegras jersey. First time it's coming out, baby. Flying around the ice on that thing. I'm gonna bring a hockey stick and puck. I'm gonna start doing Michigan passes to random people skating around the ice. I'm just gonna start slew footing the kids that can't skate on the ice.
Yeah.
Just say, fuck, sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to.
Start body checking.
Yeah, just start dude. Oh man, do you remember our buddy Quaid, man, when he fell and I think he broke the guy's wrist, dude. I swear to God. I think the guy that fell broke it. You were there, right?
Wait, when?
Okay, so this is a bit of a good story to tell. A couple years ago,
were we watching his
was it my
game,
birthday
or were you
party?
playing?
I think it might have been my birthday party. And we went public skating at a nearby arena.
Oh, I remember this.
And my buddy Quaid he's an okay skater, but he wasn't paying attention. He was skating backwards, I think, talking to one of our other buddies, and he didn't know there was a guy who wasn't the greatest skater in the world behind him.
Wasn't he an older
older
guy?
man, yeah. And so
Yeah.
my buddy Quaid's skating back, and he accidentally runs into the guy who,
Not a great skater.
yeah, not a great skater. He runs into the guy by accident. The guy falls over, and like any other person on earth, goes to catch his fall with his hands. And I firmly believe he fucked his wrist up. I don't know if he broke it or sprained it or something. The guy never came back. He was in a lot of pain when he fell. I'm like, God. I kept my distance.
We were so young,
I kept
too.
my distance. I did not want to be affiliated with him. I was like, dude, go home with another... don't come back to the party, bro. I don't want anyone to see me near you, man. But, But yeah, man, that was bad. Dude.
How old are we?
Probably grade 6 or 5 or 7 or somewhere in and around there. It could have been grade 8.
We were like 13 years old.
It could have been grade 8, honestly, because Quaid was in our class.
I haven't really talked to him much.
In grade 8?
No, recently. So it must have been when we were younger.
We were in elementary school.
Yeah.
We were 100% because I haven't had a birthday party in high school.
Yeah.
So it was definitely elementary school. I think it was grade 8.
Imagine being that guy that a little kid fucking trips you and break your wrist.
Yeah, I know. God.
I would kill that kid. That was me.
But dude,
And then another one. Remember, we play on the school hockey team, and he receives a pass, and he fucking just falls in the slot.
Yeah,
remember that? He hits a rut.
And to this day, that's a big joke the family has. What about that turn? Was that the tournament we went to the finals?
Yeah, we lost.
Okay, so here's another story about.
Don't even get us started.
Oh,
I don't even
want
to think about this.
So grade 8 hockey, school hockey team. Me and Shorno here. We are not defensemen. We play,
and we are also 4'10".
Yeah, but at that time I don't know if I was 5 feet yet. You were probably.
No, yeah.
I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
Anyways,
I don't think I was.
We were not defensemen, but we had a lot of forwards on the school team and not a lot of defensemen. And so a
lot of higher rep
players, yeah.
Skaters.
I'm a house league hero. I never played rep, never cared enough about hockey in my young age to want to play rep. I kind of wish if I could go back in time I would take it more seriously. But anyways,
but yeah.
So I played defense one time in my career. Once I played D.
I've never played.
Liked it. I actually liked playing D. If I were to give you guys my top 10 favorite players list, a lot of them would be defensemen. I love defensemen a lot, like Cale Makar, Heiskanen, whatever. But we get stuck playing D. And our team is rolling. We are beating every team by big margins. And then we come to the finals. And I think it was a Burlington team. We're Oakville, so Burlington's a neighboring city. It's a Burlington team, and they have one kid on their team who played like AAA.
AAA.
And he was disgusting. And what was the score before we blew it?
We were winning 7-4
to like 2
in the third.
Yeah, 7-4.
No, it was like 7-4 in the third.
Yeah, and
the guy.
So obviously you have two.
And
goalies.
our goalies.
Yeah, you have two goalies, right? So it was the last game of the tournament, and our teacher, who was our coach, wanted to split it up, let them both get a chance to play. So for the first,
I honestly don't know who I'd rather have in that.
For the first period and a half, we had one of our old buddies from elementary school. I don't really talk to him anymore. He was our goalie for the first period and a half. He allowed, of course, he allowed I think 2 goals, because we swapped in halfway through the second. So I think he allowed go.
And yeah, the goalies are like
They're
low,
both
like
they're both house
white.
league level goalies. So this
House League
AAA
white,
kid's
maybe
having a
blue.
field day. Yeah. So he's having a field day. So our first goalie lets in I think 2 goals.
I think he got all 8.
Yeah. And then halfway through the second, our close buddy of ours, Antonio Bevilacqua, we are going to have him on the podcast one day to retell this story from his perspective. Because to this day,
He's
he
just
blames
gonna rip us, though.
He
He's
blames
blaming the
us to
defense.
this day. To this day, he blames me and Chorno because we were on the ice for the goal that tied it and the goal that won it. And he comes in for the last half of the second and then the whole third, and we blew the game, lost 8-7 in regulation to lose the tournament, and he has the audacity to blame us. Like, look, man, I'm not a defenseman.
Neither am I.
Chorno's not a defenseman.
He's a goalie.
And he allows 4 unanswered goals, blows the game for us, and has the audacity to blame us when we're playing out of position, and we're the problem.
And we're not even. Well, he's not even 5 feet either. Like we're all the same
we're all
height.
small. He's a small. He's bigger than both. He's taller than you. He's taller than me, obviously.
Yeah, like an inch taller.
But we were all small back in the day, and I had to go home with him. I was in the car ride with the guy who blew the tournament for the boys. I was sitting there. I was like, bro. But I was gonna rip him, but then his dad let me get A&W, so I was like, you asshole. I wanted to rip him a new one. But dude, that was terrible, man.
Like I can't believe
we lost both years. We got smoked in grade 7 when we were on the grade 7 team. I did not play defenseman that year, thank God.
No.
But
grade 8 we were good.
We were good in grade 8, yeah. But
we also had AAA, AA players on our team.
Yeah, Carson,
forwards.
Perry.
But the other goalie was insane. Like the other guy was actually
their
big,
goalie was good. Yeah. We had Julia
But our
Benoit.
goalies-
Remember, we had a girl as our goalie in
Yeah.
grade 7. She was good, dude. She was a good goalie. She played rep, I think.
Yeah.
We had Justin Marmon on D, AAA defenseman, gross, and we still lost. But you know what?
Yeah.
Funny enough, there weren't many goals allowed when he was on the ice, so I guess he was doing his job. It was a little bit different when we were out
It was
there.
more us and whoever the second. We were last.
We were bad
pairing.
defensemen. I'm not trying to argue that we're good, but we're playing out of position. I play center. What do you play? Center as well?
Center.
Yeah, we both play center. Sure, it might be the most defensive forward position, but we're not defensemen. Like Connor McDavid couldn't play D. That's my argument. If Connor McDavid can't play D, neither can I. He's the best player in the world. He can do more than me. So if he can't play D, why should I be able to? But yeah, I don't know. I thought that would be a funny story to share. That was a pretty good tournament. Like a lot of good memories from that. What was our team name again?
I don't know. It was our school, but then we had these random
it was our school, yeah.
Weeby 40s.
Yes, the Weeby 40s. Yeah, that was.
And what the heck? That was just a random jersey. How do we even get those?
I don't know, man.
Was it because another team had a blue jersey?
I think so.
Then they just
I think so.
these?
Yeah, I think they gave us those.
And then we just wore them for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a rough go, man. I've won a championship in house league though, so at least I have a taste of winning.
I haven't.
You never won a house league championship?
Never.
Wow.
I made the final. So I played rep.
Majority of his life.
So I played house league. Whatever. My last year at house league before I played rep, we made the finals, but we lost. And then I played rep for 5 years. I played AE for a few, and then A.
I don't know if you guys don't know, AE is a lower level than A. It's like there was two players or something like that. So
it's not select. It's rep, but it's like the lowest.
Yeah.
Anyways, first 3 years of AE, we made the provincial finals all 3 years. Lost all three.
Yeah. I was
all
always
3
there
years
for
in
the games you guys
provincials.
lost, bro.
The provincial, like the second best team in Ontario for 3 straight years, and like we didn't have we had a general core of the same guys.
Yeah.
But each year, like one year we had Perry, the next
Yeah.
year we had
Yeah.
Del Monte, the
Yeah.
next year we had Evan Muller, like the stars.
There was always
whatever.
a couple changes, yeah. And every one
And
of those guys went
our goalies,
up. Perry went up
our
to Triple A.
after their first year,
Double A or Triple A or something.
yeah,
Muller went
yeah,
up to
yeah.
Double
First
A.
year AE,
Yeah.
Once we got them, they went up immediately.
Yeah, because they were the
So-
best players on your team.
Yeah, so whatever. So then our next 2 years, I think I made A, and we were I don't know. We were middle of the pack. At first, we were leading our division, and we just fell apart, and then we finished like fourth or whatever. But I don't know. I've never won a finals, and then after my last year of rep, I played house league, and our team only lost once all year. And we were scheduled to play. So me and this other kid, Dante, were battling for top spot in points in like the regular season.
Yeah.
And I eventually beat him, but
You won the Art
we
Ross,
were supposed to
eh?
play, of
Wow.
House League Red, but we played. We were supposed to play him in the semifinals, and then COVID happens, so we couldn't play. And that game would have been
Brutal.
so sick.
Yeah, that would have been a good
Because I
game.
had like Wiggins, Carson was on that
Yeah.
team, Ben.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Garner was on that team
Oh
too,
my
so it would have been
God.
fun.
The D was stacked, eh?
Yeah, they had a
God.
stacked team. So,
Because
and
they
the thing
they all
about
played on the
them-
same team in rep, too.
The thing about they had Carson, Ben, and Garner on their team.
Yeah.
And House League, so the coach of that team talked to like the convener of the league or whatever, saying, "Oh, can we do this?" And they're like, "Yes, but you guys like miss like consecutive like draft picks." So they had like a House League draft or whatever, so
Okay.
they couldn't draft anyone for like a while. And like they ended up getting like the worst goalie in the league, and
Oh,
like I don't know,
God.
they finished I think second or I think they finished third in the league though still, but just because they had those 3 AA, 1 AAA
Yeah,
kind
like
of
imagine,
players.
dude, imagine, like that's like an NHLer going to play like in the OHL.
Yeah,
honestly.
it would have been a fun game, I think.
Yeah.
I think my team was pretty good though too.
What team was
Like, we
Kez on?
had-
Kez
they-
is on the worst team in the league, right?
He was on the worst team in the league, but he was third in scoring. He should have been second because Dante on
Had like
that
an extra
pretty
game or
stacked
something.
team.
Oh, he had
No,
a stacked
he
team.
he told the refs, "Oh, I got an assist. Oh, I got an assist. Oh, I got." He's like, yeah, he
Wow.
always wanted to make sure he was getting points.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know. I think like Kez's team, he was the only rep player on his team, but my team had so many like A players, so like we were just all together like
Yeah,
a great team. So
consistently,
like we
yeah.
were just
Yeah.
But and so the other teams had like a few rep players, but they fucking had like shit guys too. So I don't know. And our goalie was insane too, which kind of helped. But I don't know. We went like 21-2 or something.
Holy.
But yeah, it was fun. But then COVID fucking ruined it because I probably would have had a championship.
You might have, yeah, for sure. There's definitely a
I
chance.
probably would have.
Yeah.
But
Well,
whatever,
I won a championship. I think when I was in grade like 3 or 4, very young.
I remember watching it.
Yeah,
It was in a shootout.
we won in
right?
shootout, baby. It's actually
crazy.
funny. My dad was the guy who won it. So we kind of cheated that year. So the guy who won the tournament for us, he was a Croatian kid. His name was Lukash, but it was like Lucas. And his older brother, a year older, there wasn't enough goalies in. I think I was in white that year. There wasn't enough goalies, so he played for us. He was our goalie. He was massive. He was way bigger than all the other kids in our league. So we had like the best goalie in the league. We went to shootout in the finals, and the Lukash kid was just filthy he had all the hands and stuff, so he won it in shootout. But he was captain fucking wraparound. Every time that guy entered the offensive zone, he tried to wrap it around, and I think he might have scored like once or twice the entire time. like trying that. And all year, he tried it every single game at least 3-4 times. He scored maybe twice. And now when we watch Zach Hyman play, I don't know if he did this with the Leafs, but Zach Hyman always wraps. He likes to go around the back of the net. Was he the same way on the Leafs? Because I don't know if he's adapted it in Edmonton.
Not as bad.
But he's doing it on every time. Every time he enters his zone, he wraps around the net. He doesn't try to wrap it in the net. He just goes around. So my dad said, wow, he's like fucking Lukash from your team a couple years back. But
yeah, just think, like, when we played in grade 3 and 4, like, we thought that was good hockey.
Yeah, it's terrible when you look back.
Imagine watching that now. It's horrible.
I know. God.
That's so bad.
Speaking of, and I actually have evidence to prove. I have evidence to prove that it was not our fault we lost that game. Antonio was so there was 1 year.
Uh-oh.
Your buddy
We're
Mitchell.
still on this?
Your buddy Mitchell was on our team. Was on my team, 1 year, and so my dad was our assistant, and Justin Kendrick too, another one of your good buddies. We were all on the same team, and my dad was an assistant coach, and he said, "I'll give $10 to everybody on this team who scores tonight against this goalie," because it was Antonio, and he was like one of my best friends, our neighbor. So my dad always gave him the shit for not being good. And we won like 5-2 that game. I scored a breakaway goal. It was the easiest goal I've ever scored. I just went forehand, backhand, ups, and it didn't go upstairs, but you want it to go upstairs. I thought it was going to in my head, but it never did. I was like, dude, if I could score, I was not a goal scorer. I think, like, man, in my last year of hockey, which was in grade 9, I scored like 4 goals all year, and 2 of them were in the same game. Like, my goals per game was atrocious. And the best thing about the 2 goals I scored, the best thing about the 2 goals I scored was when I was coming off of an injury. Remember I sliced my hand open?
Yeah.
I was out for like weeks with the hand injury. The game I came back, it was against that Mason kid. The kid that used to hang out with Quaid. He was defenseman in that game. And I scored 2 goals just blowing past him because, he was not a defenseman. He was supposed to be a centerman, but they were down guys. And I feel bad for the kid because I can totally relate, but... But man,
I don't know,
like dude, and my line scored all 4 goals that game. Mache was on my line from our school. Thomas Turcotte was on my line, who also from our school. We scored 4 goals that game. We were the only line to score. I was player of the game, baby. Represent 4 points. But I was a big assist guy. I was never a goal scorer. And if we play men's league,
I'm more of an assist guy.
And that's why when we do men's league, if Kez plays, he needs to be our winger because he's a fucking puck hog. So if we put the puck on his stick, he'll just go and score. Fuck it, I'll pass him every time. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we need to start talking more about these funny stories from our time playing hockey because I feel like people don't always want to hear about just NHL news. I feel like
Oilers.
It's bland a bit. Yeah, well...
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Siri's bugging the fuck out on my watch. I don't know why it does that. I don't know. I don't know how many more funny. I mean, we just told like 4 or 5 of our best stories right there. So I feel like
we're already a minute 20 in. I think we can end it off.
Yeah, this is probably the end.
But next episode, I think we'll talk about more.
Yeah,
and if Joe's there, he'll have more.
Oh yeah, that'll be great. Yeah. So guys, next week.
Maybe we're not making any promises.
Yeah. So I think I work like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All day, every day.
University,
and school's coming back.
Soon,
so we'll try to find some time. Joe's not in fucking school, so he's not the issue. He doesn't do anything. His work's all like done for the winter. So,
oh really?
I think so. Yeah. So if we can find the time to do it, we'll get it done. But I think we should prioritize just me and you finding like an hour and a half to record one day. But hopefully we can get him on and to do it with us because I feel like that'd be a lot of fun to have him on. He's just a junior A goon. So we'll have some good stories. He's not like great at like the point producing aspect of hockey, but he's playing junior A, which is a very high level for our age. So he's got some good stories for sure. He plays against a lot of like NHL related players. Like he plays against Zach Hyman's brother. He plays against Rob Blake's son. So yeah, we'll get him on eventually, and we'll have some stories. Hopefully for episode 5. So that'll at least be entertaining for you guys listening. Thank you for tuning in. Check out our TikTok. We've been posting a lot of content there in the last week since last episode. So, if you guys want more content from us, head over to the TikTok. Follow us on Instagram.
It's not really much like
It's
like
nothing
hockey
it's nothing
podcast
crazy.
content. It's like kind of like challenges. like what
Yeah,
we've been doing.
challenges, just news, things like that. We post usually like 1 to 2 videos a day, so
We've been getting a lot more followers
and
We were at like
views.
48. Now we're at like 80
so
something.
So hopefully, if you're listening to this and you're from TikTok, we appreciate you guys checking out the podcast. But yeah, so thank you guys for listening. I think that'll do it, and we'll see you guys next week.